Normally this is where I would say, welcome to the Blue Sky Sanctuary. That's my property in Baja in Mexico, where I've been living full-time since 2021 and part-time since 2018. But today we're out of the sanctuary and we're at La Esquina, which is one of my favorite coffee shops. I thought this would be a great place to film today's video, which is about meeting people and forming community in a country outside of your own. So we're going to go inside and I'll share with you some of my tips and my experiences of making connections here in Todos Santos. So basically the questions and concerns coming from you have been, how do you build community outside of your own country, and how do you make connections? How do you meet people? And the answer is, it's actually surprisingly easy. And before you say, oh well, that's easy for you to say, you're fill in the blanks with whatever excuses you have for why it might be easy for me to meet people. I am an absolute introvert and I don't speak to strangers normally, and even still I've been able to make friends here and find a community that I feel a part of, and I'll tell you why. Any expat that you meet that's living here full-time will have common ground with you right away. They will know a bit about what it took to get here, what you have to give up, the sacrifices you have to make, the challenges you face, both in what you left behind and what you encounter while you're here creating a new life. And so you have that common ground to begin a conversation with, and you also have, I think and feel, you have mutual respect right off the bat before you've even exchanged many words, because we know for one another, we know it wasn't easy to get here. And so I think common ground and respect are two great pieces of the puzzle when it comes to meeting people and creating new friendships. And so that's part of what makes it so easy here. In addition to that, most people who are living here full-time aren't working full-time jobs and don't have a super structured life day to day. And so they have more time and more inclination to talk to you and just get into a conversation that, you know, you probably wouldn't get into up north, where you're working full-time and you're kind of in the rat race a little bit. That doesn't really exist here. So people are more open to having conversations. And I'm sorry for all the background noise, but this is the reality of Mexico life. The people that you connect with in places like this, they don't have to just be other expats that are living here. You will also find that tourists are very happy to speak to you. If they find out that you're living where they are vacationing, they'll have all sorts of questions for you. They'll want to know why you decided here, how long you've been here, where are you living, how do you like it? They'll have plenty of questions for you. And so it's pretty easy to just connect and talk to people and have a sense of belonging to a community. So beyond the friendships and connections you can make in spots like this coffee shop, or, you know, restaurants in town, spots like that, you can also connect with outreach opportunities to take advantage of giving back to the community. You can participate in spay and neuter clinics, which I've done over the years. That feels amazing, and you connect with great people at those events. And you can be the driving force for a donation drive, where you're the one who's putting up posts and collecting items and then getting those items into the hands of people who will give them to the people that need them most. And all of that feels great. I've been involved in that in different ways at different times and places over the years. You can also really plug into the community by becoming part of groups that are on offer here. So the reality is that expats mostly aren't working full-time jobs and aren't on the hustle living in Mexico. And so they have more time to create things and offer things for you to be part of. And one of the groups that I'm part of, it's kind of a collective, it's called El Nido. And it's a group that we're all connected through WhatsApp, and invitations are sent through that group to everybody in the group every day. There is an invitation every day. I'll share some of the invitations on the screen here, but basically every kind of different thing, from open mic to writing circles to groups that are just for men, groups that are just for women, groups that are for everybody. There's jewelry making, and there's, you know, this documentary is being shown tonight, and this like ecstatic dance thing is happening at this location at this time, and Tai Chi is happening at the beach. And I know this stuff kind of might sound like hippy dippy stuff, but really the people that gather for these events and these offerings are of a wide variety. They are of, like, they vary in age, they vary in appearance and interests, and I think not only are the expats putting these different things on offer far more often here than they would anywhere else because they have the time, but different people are coming out for maybe the same reason you're showing up, which is that they want to make new friends and form new connections in the town that they're living in. And so really people are very open here, has been my experience. They're open to chat, they have more time to chat. They're not as we are typically up north where, you know, if we're in a coffee shop, we're there to grab our coffee and get to work. Here, people are here to grab their coffee and sit down and be here for a while. So people have more time and inclination to connect. And from your comments, knowing that this is a concern for some of you, I can assure you, you'll be pleasantly surprised when you get here. People are very open and welcoming to conversation for the most part. My final suggestion for you, if you're not comfortable with, you know, meeting strangers in coffee shops or going to events on your own, would be to frequent a place like this beautiful spot. This is a yoga center in Todos Santos, Cuatro Vientos. And if you show up at a place like this somewhat regularly, you'll become a familiar face, and I'm sure you'll find that you have no trouble then making connections, which can then turn into friendships over time. And again, you'll have something in common with the people that are here because you're both enjoying, whether it's, you know, a yoga practice or Tai Chi, or maybe it's you're going to a gym and meeting people there, but you can and will become a familiar face and the connections will just happen. I feel like I can confidently assure you of that because I am, despite how it appears on my channel, I am a shy person and I've met plenty of people here. And maybe a last consideration for you is, how important is it for you to have your friends physically close by? Because with all the technology that we have now, I feel very connected to my friends and family back in Canada. I'm actually closer to my family in Ontario than I've ever been, and that's because we have Zoom calls every single week. And so you don't need to let go of your friends and family back home just because you're geographically far away from them. And then you can also form your new friendships in your new community, and you can have all of that. And so I think you will find that you won't have to battle loneliness here. There is plenty to keep you feeling nurtured and connected and part of community. So if you were having doubts, I hope this video has helped you to gain confidence and come out here and forge a new path and create your life, and you'll be pleasantly surprised at the people you find here, I'm sure. So if you've got any more questions, please put them in the comments. I always love hearing from you. Your comments give me ideas for new videos so that I can show up here week after week. I appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.